Welcome back to another episode of Buzzworthy Businesses, where we highlight leaders who are making a big impact both locally and worldwide. I'm Morgan Yonge, and I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Mr. David Permenter with Generation Media.
Very nice to see you,
as
always.
Good to see you, yes. And we have Joseph George with George & George ADR Group. Good to see you.
Same here.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
You as well, thank you.
Yes, so Joseph, will you tell us a little bit about what you do with George & George and how you got started?
George & George ADR Group is a dispute resolution firm that assists in resolving disputes, whether it's arbitration, mediation, negotiation, or conciliation. We work with federal and local agencies as well as private companies and local communities. And we pretty much take care of all type of disputes, whether it's construction, employment, lemon laws, the whole wide thing. We take care of that.
Beautiful. And dive into the lemon law. I know you really focus on that aspect of things and construction resolution. Will you tell us a little bit more about that?
So when people get their cars brand new from the manufacturer has written information in the buyer's guide inside of that sits inside your glove compartment, that big fat book that nobody never reads. So there's rules inside there that they have to go by. So if you have three repairs on your vehicle that the dealership has not fixed, the law says that it could be a lemon, 30 days out of service, etc. So the lemon law is put in place to protect the consumer from coming out for repairs that the manufacturer failed to address at the time, which is usually at the dealership. And then the consumer would have to actually give notice to the manufacturer and give them a final opportunity to actually resolve the dispute. If they don't resolve it, then you'll file a claim with there's several panels that actually handle, like the state handles lemon laws. Then you have the Better Business Bureau program. Mm-hmm. So it's called BBB Autoline. They handle a lot of the lemon laws. You have Donmars, they actually handle that also. And then you have NCDS. They handle a lot of those lemon law claims. So once you file with those organizations, they actually put the claim through, and then it goes out to a third-party arbitrator who looks over the case and makes a ruling on those cases.
Is the lemon law a federal law, or does each state have its own lemon laws?
Well, you could say it's a federal law, but each state have their own version of what they need to do. Mm-hmm. California is pro-consumer when it comes to lemon law. Florida is a little bit balanced. They kind of like says, it's a little bit, you have to do this, you have to do that. But they all have a set of guides steps that you have to follow. Mm-hmm. You have to have 3 repairs for the same, and a lot of consumers get it wrong. Mm-hmm. It's for the same thing. So let's say it's your battery having an issue, and it's shutting down your car, it won't start, whatever. You have to go back for the battery 3 times, and then you give the manufacturer final opportunity to repair it, which will be the 4th repair. If they can't confine it to that repair, then you could give them notice by certified mail to the manufacturer, not the dealership. And then the manufacturer takes it over and they try to send most of the time they're trying to send a technician out, a field tech to look at the car, see what's going on, and then they'll try to fix it the best they can. If they can't confirm the car to its manufacturer specification, then you got the opportunity to get repurchase, refund, or replacement, or sometimes a repair.
I would assume that that's mostly domestic work, but you do international work also.
Yes, yes. We do a lot of international work with mergers and acquisitions, breach of contracts. Sometimes is environmental disputes, agricultural disputes. Overseas, there's so many things that's going on overseas that you want to address. And our firm handles it. We work with partners overseas that we work with them, like in Saudi Arabia, Japan, China, Abu Dhabi. Recently, Romania came online on us, so we're trying to work with our firms over there in Romania. And I don't mean our firm, I mean law firms that actually see what we do and like what we're doing and choose us to partner with them to get things done, because they also have clients over here in the United States. So I like to call it a fair exchange.
And for our listeners, our viewers, the advantages of arbitration, mediation, I guess it's a completely different environment, a different dynamic than litigation, where it might be more like this. It seems like it would be a bit more of a friendly environment, more understanding one another.
Oh yes, it's so much friendlier. Litigation is costly. You're in the court docket, so you have to file your cases with the court. You have to put up money up front. and then you have to wait to get your time in court, which, it could be a year, 2 years. It all depends on the case and how that particular court is backlogged with cases. As you know, after COVID, there was a fluctuation of cases throughout the court system. So arbitration is similar as litigation. There's an arbitrator who is pretty much judge and jury on your case. So you have both sides have to present their case just like going into the courtroom, except it's in a private setting, probably in a conference room, or I've seen it into universities, their meeting space over there.
All parties present at the same
All
time.
parties present on side. You have one party A over here, party B over here, and then you have the arbitrator in the middle, or you have arbitrators. Sometimes it's a panel. A panel of three can't be four. It has to be a panel of three because it needs that balance. And then the arbitrator listens to open and closing statements. They look at the evidence, exhibits that the parties present to them, and a little bit of common sense and knowledge on the case helps them to draft an award based on what the parties say. And then when it comes to mediation, that's different. Now the parties settle their own dispute with the assistance of a third party, a mediator who is, strategically helping them to move the case along and helping them to find the other person's shoe. I like to say, put themselves in the other person's shoe. So if you're having a dispute about eviction, he said, well, you live in his home, you haven't paid this guy 6 months. I mean, come on, this guy's trying to make a living just like you trying to make a living. Would you allow somebody to live in your home for free? So you have to kind of turn the table and say how you look at it and put it in their perspective and let them come back to you with that. And then the mediator system in resolving that. And once they both resolve it and they come to a conclusion, then you have what you call a stipulation is drafted up. And both parties sign that stipulation and they're bound by the courts.
Much more friendly.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
And cheaper. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot cheaper. Because with mediation or arbitration, you don't need to have an attorney present.
Yeah.
So you call them proceeds. So they could go in there by themselves and resolve the disputes by themselves.
Fantastic. So in one word, just to wrap it all up, how would you define success?
How to define success?
In one word. I know it's tough.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be business related.
I define success as accomplishments.
Accomplishment.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Accomplishments.
Fair enough.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on the show, Joseph.
No
It's
problem.
been an absolute pleasure.
Great pleasure. Great pleasure being
I've
here.
learned a lot.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Buzzworthy Businesses. If you want more information about Joseph George and George ADR Group, head on over to dailynewsnetwork.com and we have all the info right there. We'll see you in the next episode of Buzzworthy Businesses.